What's up, you guys? It's your boy Blair. This is On Air with Blair by True Hollywood Tea. I am here with a dancer, a creative visual artist. You guys, she is one of the most talented people on social media, Kendra Oyesana.
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you so much for being here. And I have to say this, I love your initials, KO, because you leave everyone dead on the dance floor.
Period. No. It just came out that way. Look, thank you, mom and dad, for, putting the initials together. It works out.
Right. Now, if you guys don't recognize her, which I don't know how, you've definitely seen her work from the whole Black Lives Matter video to your Missy Elliott tribute, the Cool Off Challenge, like everything. Oh my gosh, the Black Panther video. Just tell me, how did you get to this place in the dance world and how you became your own boss by creating your own production company?
Yeah, so I moved to Los Angeles almost 7 years ago, not really having much knowledge about the dance industry, no, training, any of that. So I've told the story a million times, but the short version is winning a contest for Beyonce and traveling to Los Angeles after her choreographer told me to move to LA. And, after a while, just doing the auditioning and things like that, it was just a part of me that was like, I kind of wanted to do things my own way and create my own lane. And I took a leap of faith doing like my first video a couple years ago with my friend, and it was my first time doing my own concept video, and it went viral. So then from there I was like, oh, I need to do more of these. And then from there, just the visions, the ideas just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger to what it is today.
Yeah. And you just said you kind of got started, Beyonce's choreographer contacted you, and
well, yeah, I won this contest called Pepsi Dance for a Chance. It, let's see, back in the day, 2013, had to do a 10-second video to Beyonce's Pepsi commercial at the time, reenacting that. They chose 8 finalists to fly to New York, do a super fan video with her choreographer. We got to go to her concert. We got to meet Beyonce. And on set, everyone was like, oh, you're really good. You should really think about being a dancer, because I was working a regular job. I had just got laid off. I just graduated college, so I was dancing was not even in my head to go and pursue until I met her choreographer. And he was like, I was like, what do you do to be a dancer? Like, what am I supposed to do? He's like, you need to move to LA. You do good. So a month later, I just moved.
Well, that had to be a full circle moment, because you guys, I don't know, but she performed with Beyonce at the Homecoming Coachella performance, which it's
completely
obviously
full circle. It's crazy how
well, how did that, when you were performing at Homecoming, tell me how that felt. Like, did you, obviously the full circle moment, just tell me, you kind of spoke into existence.
I did when I thought about it, because I was like, whoa, the reason why I'm in LA is because of this Beyonce contest. And to then years later dance with her and get like a moment with her, like, next to her, was just amazing. I can't even believe it. So the experience, even just the experience alone, comparing it to that, was already amazing to me. And then obviously performing was amazing, because, they're saying that's one of her best performances she's ever done. And she's one of the biggest artists. So I've already fulfilled my dance goal, like dancing with the top artists. Like, I'm cool, I'm good.
Yeah. The only person that you really have to compete with is yourself. And you have shown that repeatedly by your content and the mural that was just,
I know.
Of you.
It's so crazy. I still can't believe it.
Now, listen, I know dancers sometimes win trophies, they get money, or, they do a huge performance, but that right there was a trophy that will be in history also. Can you tell me about it, and how did that even come about?
This random girl just DM'd me like a couple weeks ago, and she was like, hey, I want to let you know I did a mural inspired by your dance. I'll let you know when it's done, and things like that. But I'm thinking, like, I'm not thinking it's me. She just said inspired by my dance. So when she see me just like the little outlines of it, I was like, you put me on this wall, like, that's me. It's crazy. So then, yes, I recently did get to go see the mural in person. And she got to tell me like why she did it, because she was inspired by my dance video. I did the Cool Off Challenge by Missy Elliott. She saw it on her page, saw Missy repost it, seeing that it was me. And then she was like, oh, this girl, verified, has followers. I hope she, responds back to you. I'm like, girl, like, to me, again, you just forget that people do think of you in that way. I think of myself as this little, this girl from Oklahoma City, country girl. So when people do stuff like that for me, I'm just like, I'm still like shocked and so grateful and blessed, because I think of murals, Kobe Bryant, I think of celebrities,
Yeah.
I think of icons. It's huge. Like in person, I was just like, it was a little weird looking at myself because I'm like, that's me. But so yeah, to have gotten that opportunity to talk to her and say how much I inspired her to do that was just amazing. She was super nice, and she wanted to know a little bit about me. And I, she does this, like she used to, works with Black artists around the Oakland area and teaches them. So it was dope, super dope.
Yeah, and I mean, you said icons, being on murals or whatever, being respected in that way, but your craft is that beautiful and that iconic that you didn't need a huge recognition. Now, don't get me wrong, you are successful in your own right and you're doing your thing, but if you were going to compare yourself, I'd be like, wow, like my work is that iconic that it's on a mural.
Yeah, it reminded me honestly of like who I am, and not to say like, who I look. I got a mural, like because you get inside your head, and with COVID and the quarantine and things being on pause, and to see that someone's still able to do something like that during this time, it gave me that extra like spark I needed, because it was like getting real crazy 2020 with like Black Lives Matter and all this, where I was like, I can't even barely scroll on Instagram right now because it's too emotional and you want to do something, but you're like, what do I do? But obviously I realized like me using my voice is how I'm able to make an impact. By me using my voice, I'm able to impact the world and inspire people for change. So I always want to create things that are inspirational, something that you can learn, knowledgeable, and things like that. And she reminded me to like continue doing what you were doing, continue to keep working on what you were working on, so you can really like impact the entire world. And that's my goal.
And you're doing it. I mean, that Black Lives Matter video, I mean, that was just amazing to see. And just because you posted it like what, in February or March? It was earlier in the year.
Yeah. Right. It started as a Black History Month video that me and my friend Antoine did. And yeah, we did it. We shot it ourselves, directed, casted, like we did literally everything ourselves. So when we posted it maybe like actually we didn't even post it in February. We posted it March 1st because it was my dad's birthday. And we were a little late because Black History Month is a little short. So to kind of come up with something, we was running out of time.
Listen, every day is Black History Month, okay?
Every day is Black History Month. So that's what we wanted to do. We were like, yo, let's post it March 1st to let them know, like, celebrate Black history, celebrate Black excellence every day, not just 1 month where we can't put all of our excellence in 29, 28 days.
Sometimes 28, yep.
Yeah, you're right. However many days, the leap year and all of that. So that's why we did that. But it's cool to see that it got viral months later to let me know that it is something that was timeless, something that, just because we posted, because sometimes you post something, months before a year and people are like, that's old. To me, it let me know that like, oh, this is something that is timeless. Like it popped when it was supposed to pop. It happened when it was supposed to happen. Timing is everything. That's all I'm gonna say. And it was dope to see how many people shared it, how many celebrities shared it. I was like, Rihanna shared my video. Yes. I said, you popping when Rihanna shared.
Yes. I mean, when you have Queen Rihanna reposting your stuff, but I mean, that just goes to show that art is timeless. Like, and you being a creative, I mean, obviously, I don't think that you were waiting for it to pop off like, oh, it didn't pop off a month. You were already moving on to other content, just already focused on your next, what was coming up. And I think that's a lesson to people coming up. Like, don't worry about what you just did. Put it into the world and just see what happens.
Yeah, it's so easy to get into your head because I'm not going to lie, we took a lot of time and we put in a lot of work in that project. But I wanted to because it was something that was so meaningful to me. So it came from a genuine place. So when I did post it, it got traction, not as much as I thought it would have, but I was still happy with the project because I knew what it meant to me. Like, this is what I wanted to showcase, and that's what it was. So when it happened months ago, it was like, timing is everything. Like, it happened when it's supposed to happen, and it made, it was like, to me, the anthem of the Black Lives Matter movement. It was like, this is literally like the new anthem. This is the new video that showcases that, unapologetically Black, being Black is not a crime. Like, so I'm happy that it popped when it was supposed to pop. And again, it reminds you, like, don't get in your head. You just never know. And if you already think something's great when you post it, be okay with that. No matter how many likes you get, repost, whatever, just continue doing what you're doing because you just never know.
Yeah, and it was supposed to come out when it came out because the George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, everything going on around that time, it was meant to be. So kudos to you on your content in general. But I kind of want to go back because you mentioned Oklahoma City, repping your hometown. Just tell me the journey of how you came to be a dancer. Like, were you
Being
dancing when
from
you were
Oklahoma
younger?
City, yeah, there's not really like a dance scene in Oklahoma. They have it, but not really. Okay, Oklahoma, I love where I'm from. I'll always represent, but there's not much going on in Oklahoma. You know, you raise a family, you go to work, you go to church, and you repeat. So, me being a dancer, I started off like in school, you know, being a part of, you know, the pom squad, the step team. And then when I always danced like in my living room, but never trained. I think I remember taking a tap class when I was like 6. That didn't last long. I was in gymnastics for like a month, quit. You know, it was nothing like long term. And in college, people knew that I could dance, so then I would be the dancing girl, like, oh, open up for the step show, open up for international festival. So really a lot of my training was just me dancing with like my homeboy at the time who would we would choreograph routines, but nothing on the level that I did when I moved to LA. So literally, and then I was still, you know, regular person working a regular job, you know, working in customer service, going to college, until I won the contest, and that's when stuff picked up.
Wow.
Yeah, it's wild.
So things kind of happen later in life because, you know, some people, dancers I know, were like trained since they were little.
Yeah, they trained since they were little. Then after high school, they moved to LA, or they go to college for a dance and they moved to LA. I moved out to LA later in life. I moved out to LA at 26. So I didn't have time to waste, and I think that's what made me like push as hard as I did and really go hard to create my own, because I was like, I don't have time to be here, okay? I'm competing against these 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, so I didn't have the time. So, but I still look young because baby
girl, black don't crack.
Okay. Yeah, but that pushed me. So, I used to wish like, I wish I would have moved out when I was, before, but I probably wasn't going to be ready mentally, physically. Like, there's always a reason for everything. God set it up for me to move at the time that it did. So I am grateful that everything has been working out in my favor. I still can't believe I'm here. That's why when people ask me, I'm just like, because a lot of times I'm just doing stuff. I'm not really doing stuff thinking that it's gonna really work. This is like trial and error. This is me like faking it till I make it, like guessing, like maybe I'll do this. Even on my videos, I never expect them to hit. I'm literally have an idea in my head. I create it and I put it out there, and whatever happens to it, happens to it. Yeah, you be like, oh, hopefully it's his. But again, when we're talking about when you take time and it doesn't hit the way you want to, you really get into your head, you start to question yourself. So now I literally create content for myself. Like, if I like it, I really don't care. If y'all don't like it, I know I like it. I know it's lit, and I'm posting out there. So then it does make me feel good that when it actually does hit, it's like, okay, so it is good,
Yes.
It was, but it's good to have that extra confirmation.
Exactly. I forgot to ask you during the mural part, but someone took a behind the scenes video of you dancing when you were dancing from the mural, and the black little girls watching you.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I would have cried if I were you.
Yeah,
like
it's so touching, because just hearing from the artist who did this, her name's Rachel. Shout out to Rachel. She told me like this mural has gotten so much traction. Like, everyone literally drives and stops to like look at it. And it's not it's where I dance. It's not an open space. They only open that parking lot for like events. So you really can only see it from the outside, but it stopped so many people. People have already been like, taking pictures, videos, and then even those little girls just out there like watching me, because this is why I do what I do, is for those little girls. I want especially little black girls to know that, no dream is too big. Like, you can make it, and to see those little girls, it's like, that's the impact that I want to make. I want them to look at me and be like, I could do what she's doing too. So it's amazing.
I'm super proud of you, and I know that was a moment in itself.
They are the next generation, so if I can inspire them, so when we get old, we able to be taken care of and know we ain't got no nonsense out there. Like, that's my mission. I don't care about all the money and things like that. I really want to inspire the world, especially little black girls, for sure.
Amen. Drop the period. I'm gonna say amen for that one. Okay, so when you were doing homecoming and that experience, by the way, do you ever get like tired of like, can you watch it all the time and be cool with it? Because all my friends are still like, want to watch homecoming? How is that for you?
Yeah, I mean,
be honest.
When we hear the song, like, we'll do the moves, but I'm not watching it on Netflix every day. I'm just not doing that.
Yeah.
But I think because I did live through it. Like it was, a moment, and it was a moment that does remind me of other moments in my life. So it's not that I'm not happy about it, but it's because some of the other factors. Because I was talking to you earlier that my dad passed away during Coachella rehearsals. And a part of me did want to quit. A part of me, was upset and mad. I was like, oh, I should never did this job. If I never did this job, I would have actually been with my dad. So it's like, bittersweet in a sense. But at the same time, I knew my dad would have wanted me to complete it because we had, 2 weeks left until the show or something like that. And when I did perform, it's like, I felt like my dad was like front row in the audience. So that made me feel better to know that, like, I felt his energy, I felt his spirit, and to know that he is proud of me. And that's always my number one goal. Like, I have it tattooed on my arm to, make me proud is what my dad always said to me. So yeah, it's a great moment, but I'm not watching it every day for reasons.
And that's understandable. And Kendra, like, you just sharing that is going to help so many people who are going through something similar. And the fact that you were able to go through that and still be able to live your dream, because like that is huge.
Yeah.
And not like in a selfish way. It's huge to like, this is something that your parent wanted you to do. You knew that they would want you to do it, and you successly fulfilled it.
Yes.
So congrats. That's the thing that really matters. Like the likes, all that other stuff, the comments, it doesn't really matter. It's, can you make a difference within yourself and live your dream? So much kudos to you for even sharing that. I appreciate you for even sharing.
Someone's watching. Someone's literally always watching. The fact that I had that mural painted of me just lets me know someone's literally always watching me. So I have to be strong. I have to keep going, because I just never know. You never know who you can inspire just by pushing through and making it happen. So I always try to remind myself, even though it does get hard, obviously, but reminding myself that someone's watching and you're inspiring someone else is going through the same thing that you're going through.
Yeah. Now, before Homecoming happened, you were already doing music videos. You did Wobble with Chris Brown. You did Super Love with Tinashe. Yeah. After you did Homecoming, was there anyone else that you were like, I got to work with them? Or, is there still a bug in you that's like, I got to work with this person?
I mean, honestly, once I danced with Beyonce, I was like, I'm done with dance. Like,
yeah.
Well, I mean, there's nothing else for me to do. I mean, in a sense, because she's, the top artist, the biggest artist. Like, I've already been on tour before. See, I'm the type of dancer that, I never thought I was going to be in LA at all. So when I did, check my list of, things I want to do, I was cool. When I booked the tour, boom, tour done. What else can I do? Dance with Beyonce. Biggest artist done. Like, now I'm ready to be an actress now. Like, I didn't want to go book another tour or go dance with another artist. And thankfully I almost got the opportunity to dance for some artists that I haven't gotten to dance with. Like Rihanna, I remember being on a Veil for her Vanguard performance, but then I had also got booked for Bad Boy tour. So it was like either do one or do a whole tour. So I did pick the tour. And then Janet Jackson, she was another one I wanted to dance with. And I was doing Step Up at the time when I could have did one of her videos. And I was like, I'm going to this. And the choreography's like, you're already on a job. It's okay. But I'm like, but it's Janet.
It's Queen Janet.
Scheduling, I couldn't do that. And then, Usher, me, the choreographer, Step Up, which is Jamaican Crash. Shout out to her, my sis. I went to a vibe session with her, dancing to Usher's, I think it was his latest album, but just being in his presence was enough for me. I don't need to do a job with you. Like, I'm literally right here vibing with Usher. But these are people that I've wanted to dance with, obviously, because they're dancers and they are artists. So you always want to dance with the artists who dance too. So I'm not, and then Missy Elliott, obviously I haven't got a chance to dance with her, but she in my DM telling me about, shout out to you. Thank you. I won her cool off challenge. Like, that's enough for me, as long as y'all know what it is. And y'all would have maybe, put me in the mix. I'm good with that.
Yeah. And even to be considered, like, that's huge. Like, I love Janet. Like, I grew up listening to Janet. So I know that for you would have been,
I know.
something's coming.
That was a
Janet's
tough
gonna
one.
be dropping a song or something. She's gonna be having a challenge, and I already know you're gonna be.
I just got to just let me just touch a sleeve or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna speak into existence. I really want her and Missy to go on tour together. I'm speaking it because I know they're friends.
Yeah. They got
Right,
the
and then
songs, that would be cool. They did. I remember Essence Festival. I danced with Fantasia at the time, but I think she did come out on Janet's set. So because they both performed at Essence, so that would be a dope.
I'm just speaking into existence, and maybe you'll just kill two birds with one stone. I don't know. Okay, so we have you. Yeah, and you talked about the acting bug, and I'm super excited because you're getting into acting. I love how you're kind of moving on up to different goals. Like, I've done this. I'm not gonna, I succeeded in that. My new dream.
Yeah.
Dreams sometimes don't end, so I appreciate that and that hustle. So tell me, Step Up High Water. How was that experience, and just being an actress now?
It's an experience that I didn't know that I would like fall in love with and love, but because dance is always was like number one, my passion. I liked the thought of being an actress, but I never thought that it would happen so quickly. So when it happened, and that was my first acting audition ever, I was like, well, this happened because I literally planned 2017. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start doing acting now. I had finished the tour. I'm like, time to act. But I didn't think I was gonna book a series regular that year. I was like, God, slow down. That was quick. So yeah, being on set was an amazing. Everyone was just so nice, from the crew, from the talent, and everyone in production. It's really like a family, and so I really love that. And it's cool. I got to still be to dance and act. So I got to do two of the same things that I love, and one. And we didn't get picked up for season 3, so. I know
it's coming to Stars. Like, what's going on with that?
Stars, yeah. So that's another thing. So a bigger network. So I'm super grateful. And after season 2, I did start taking acting classes. So I was in acting classes before like Corona and stuff like that. Taking acting classes, just making sure that even though that was my first acting audition, I don't want to just. Obviously, experience, you do gain a lot and grow from experience, but I wanted to, get the technique, different styles and things like that. I wanted to learn and perfect my craft, so I wanted to make sure that I got into acting classes after that. So it's been good. I mean, obviously, Corona, they're doing more, everything's virtual, but I need some in-person contact. Yeah. So I haven't really did that, the whole taking class online, virtually, but I mean, I'm sure it's great, but I've still been auditioning and things like that. So self-tapes, I've been doing that. I did a virtual audition, which was weird, but this is our new way now. I guess you just gotta, get with it or get left behind, because this is gonna be like this for a while. So
exactly, you really have to adjust. You have to adjust to the new normal. But Step Up, I know that you grew. You started a friendship with Naya Rivera, who also starred on the show.
Yeah.
First of all, I am so sorry for that loss, because that hit everyone to the core.
Yeah, it's crazy. It still doesn't seem real. Every time I even look at my Instagram, I'm just like, or even look at her, I'm just like, there's no way she's not here anymore. And it's crazy, because I was telling someone else, I had so much to tell her, because we would catch up like outside. We were friends outside of the show, so it was cool. We would go to dinner, go have drinks or whatever, talk about men, talk about everything. So when Corona happened, we hadn't like seen each other in a while, but I remember telling her I missed her, and I was like, we need to catch up ASAP. And then for that to happen so randomly, it's like, it's unreal. It's really unreal. And she really, really loved the show. She loved us, and she's been working since she was like a baby. So for her to be on our set and really like enjoy it, because I know she's had some not so enjoyable sets, but the fact that our set was nice and she treated us like family, it just makes me so like, but 2020 has been crazy. I'm just say that it's like, it's been crazy, but it's been like from afar. That was like my circle close to me. So it really hit home how crazy 2020 has gotten. But she was such a boss. She was such a amazing actress. So I know she's up there like, I'm good, y'all. Don't worry about me. That's how she always looks like. She like, I'm gonna be good. That was her thing to say. So I have to think about that. And we did get to see her family after. I did get to go to her gravesite and say my goodbyes. It was like a small group of like close people. And her dad, the way he talked about her, how he was just telling you stories, but like funny stories, like laughing and things like that. I mean, I know they went through, but it made me be like, okay, I could be strong if her dad could be strong, and her sister, I saw, her son, we got to see her son that same day, and he's playing with his toys and he just looked happy. So it just reminded me to be staying, you got to keep pushing forward. You have to stay strong because, her family, I'm not going to say they're in, the best spirits, but in front of us, they're able to still push through. So it remind me, I have to push through. I don't like that. Death is just like, why? But as you get older, you do learn to deal with it, and you learn to, I guess, understand it a little more, and things like that. Seeing them still happy reminds me, okay, keep going. Think they're fine. This world, I'm sure up there is way better than what's going on right now, so it can't be that bad. But don't take me no time soon, Lord. I'm just saying.
No. But no, that was beautiful and real, and it's really hard because everyone kind of grieves differently, and sometimes it takes a minute. But I mean, like her dad even trying to share that, because I mean, we saw other videos of him like running in the lake and everything. So like to even hear that for other people is probably who are also going through something similar make them feel better as well.
And this with death, you never get over it. Like, I'm not over losing my dad, and it's been 2 years. You never get over it, but you do learn to deal with it. And with Naya, I'm not over that because it just happened, and it's so randomly, because it's not like she was sick or, when you expect it. It's just so random accident that we don't really understand. And there's all we have is a 4-year-old to tell us what happened. So you have to go off of that. It's just crazy, but I am learning to, be able to deal with it. Just thinking about, she would still want us to be good. She would still want us to keep going and moving forward. So hopefully they will figure that out with Step Up, because there is going to have to be a lot of changes. So hopefully it all works out.
Well, everything will work out. I'm going to speak that into existence. And I'm super excited for you in your career. Season 3 of Step Up High Water. Girl, you are just doing the damn thing. That's what I have to say. Where can people find you on social media? Because, I mean, if you don't already follow her, we got to talk. But you got to follow this woman right here, okay?
Okay. You can find me on social media, Instagram at MsK.O. Twitter, MsKO_. Again, I'm trying to get all these the same one of these days. TikTok, MsKO. Literally just type in Ms. MIZZKO. I'll come up. Sometimes there's a period in there, sometimes there's not. Kendra Oyesana, look me up and find me. That's it. That's all.
Kendra Oyesana.
Oyesana.
See, did I do it right that time?
You did.
Yeah. Okay, because girl, I'm gonna fix it. That's one thing about me. If I get a name wrong, I'm gonna be like, no, I'm gonna learn. It might take me a minute, but I'm gonna learn. Kendra, thank you so much for taking the time. Is there anything else that you want to say before you go?
What else I want to say? Just to the people, keep going, keep pushing, keep moving. I know times is crazy, but don't let the world distract you from what's going on. Don't let the world distract you for, doing the inside work, because self-care is so important right now during these times. So it's easy to lose yourself and be in this like sad space. So just making sure you take time for yourself and keep being creative, pushing through, strong, and that's it.
Period. Kendra, thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate you.
Of course. Thank you for having me, and congrats with this show you got going on. Come on.
Thank you. Girl, it's all about lifting Black talent, because especially right now, what are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing? This is the perfect time.
I was like, I see my girl Kendra out here making videos in the middle of this. I can come up with a show and feature artists like her, okay?
Yes, and I appreciate people like that, because I was that girl who just started out and did things on my own or wanted people to be a part. And, so listen, congrats to you for starting this and doing that. I'm happy and honored that you asked me to be a part of your show. And it's going to be lit.
Thank you. On air with Blair. On air with Blair.
Okay.